Hey everybody, it's 2016 and that means two things. One, global warming hasn't killed us yet, and two, there are a lot of amazing video games coming up this year. Most of all, however, we are excited for those from the RPG genre, so we've created a small list of top 10 RPG games to look out for this year. Those are the titles you simply must play. So, let's roll! Our first pick would have to be Kingdome Come Deliverance from a new studio Warhorse. Set in the 15th century, this RPG adventure will take us to the medieval kingdom of Bohemia around the time of the Hussite Wars. What makes this game so special? Apart from good impressions that the alpha version has left us with, the game feels like a breath of fresh air, with its focus on realism and historical accuracy. No dragons, no wizards, and no epic artifacts that can change the fate of the world. Instead, we'll experience the country life, political intrigues, and the daily struggles of farmers. Kingdome Come seems like one of those games where even simply walking around is fun. And most of all, we keep rooting for the underdog, hoping that Kingdome Come will be a big boost for the Czech game industry and will put the promising developer on the map.
Mother!
Now, once and for all, no more games, to the death!
2013's Fire Emblem Awakening was supposed to be the last title from the long-running tactical RPG franchise. However, minor tweaks to the gameplay and making permadeath optional brought new audiences, making the 3DS exclusive a strong Game of the Year contender, next to The Last of Us. This year, the next installment, called Fire Emblem Fates, finally hits the West market. Not only that, but the game is coming out in two versions, offering different campaigns from various points of view. Once again, we'll lose hair and sleep over protecting our favorite characters and romancing to create the best babies. Even when we manage to gain the upper hand in a hard scenario after 20 or so attempts, there's no ruling out that we'll restart once again just to protect our virtual daughter or son from impending peril. Overhaul Games, a division of Beamdog, became popular thanks to Baldur's Gate remasters, and since it gained respect of hardcore RPG fans, why stop there? That's how the idea of Baldur's Gate Siege of Dragonspear was conceived. This expansion will serve as a tie-in, or an interquel if you will, to the first and second Baldur's Gate. Our old friends will come back, along with some new faces and a story that will last around 20 hours. It's not a title for everyone, to be sure, but those who still visit the world of Forgotten Realms every once in a while will surely have fun with this new old adventure.
Find your answer.
Thanks to Kickstarter campaigns and the recent popularity of old-school-like RPGs, such as Pillars of Eternity, Wasteland 2, and the new Shadowrun, this year we'll get our hands on Torment Tides of Numenera. The successor to the cult classic Planescape Torment will once again focus on bizarre world, with a story and conflict resolution being the main focus, while grinding and adventuring take the back seat. With names such as Brian Fargo and In Exile Entertainment behind the project, this long-awaited title is sure to satisfy fans of the genre and less blockbuster RPGs. After an early access release of Darkest Dungeon, some of our editors took a few days off. This grim RPG is a revelation of sorts, as our teammates put it, and this peculiar title simply cannot be ignored. At first sight, the game looks like a grim and depressing tale for the fans of H.P. Lovecraft's creations, only to soon prove that it doesn't get any lighter than this. Darkest Dungeon is depressing both with its gameplay and source material. The difficulty level is unforgiving, and the dark settings and hideous monsters make persevering even more satisfactory. We can certainly recommend this title to Dark Souls fans. Speaking of Dark Souls, it's been almost a year since the phenomenal Bloodborne, and the team at From Software have yet another hardcore RPG for us. Once again, we will venture to beautiful locations of death and despair and take our punishment for even the smallest mistakes. After Dark Souls 2, however, some of the devoted fans were skeptical, as if From Software was running out of ideas. Bloodborne's focus on action and speed don't help either. We, however, fully trust the developer on this one. If the bosses remain tough and exploration as enjoyable as before, there will be nothing to fear when it comes to Dark Souls 3. The French studio Spiders became known for mediocre low-budget titles such as Bound by Flame and Mars Warlogs. The first one failed miserably by trying too much to mimic Dragon Age, The Witcher and other popular fantasy RPGs, while Mars Warlogs, being flawed in many aspects, was entertaining and offered a good story, reminding us, in a way, of the cult classic Gothic franchise. The newest game from Spiders, the Technomancer, is set in the aforementioned Mars universe, and we couldn't be happier. Sure, we're not as excited for this cyberpunk adventure as we are for, let's say, Deus Ex, but you can never get enough of dystopian futuristic RPGs, and this title looks to be just that. Let's just hope that the developer has learned from their mistakes. "2014's Dragon Age Inquisition was a great BioWare game. What do we mean by that, you ask? Well, it was an enjoyable RPG with a great cast of supporting characters and fun gameplay. Nevertheless, the open world of Thedas and Orlais sometimes bore us with fetch quests and collectathons. So much that Descent's quest to search for mugs in the Deep Roads became something of a running joke here at the office. Mass Effect Andromeda not only will put focus back on space exploration, but will awe us with its world, or should I say, worlds. The Mass Effect brand is a recommendation in itself, but let's just hope that the Canadian studio has listened to our complaints. I was gonna put Persona 5 or Final Fantasy 15 here, but in the end, Mount & Blade 2 won the majority's vote. The series manages to scare off some of the RPG fans, but the story, the fighting, and the love from the modding community make Taleworld's games a phenomenon in itself. The next installment, called Bannerlord, will offer more of what we already know, with freedom of exploration, story progression, and various optional activities. Graphics were never the strong suit in Mount & Blade, and the new game surely looks dated before the release. Nevertheless, the cities will be bigger, battles will have a larger scale, and more people will inhabit this medieval world. And that's enough for us.
If I can survive long enough to see it.
Despite all those exciting RPGs, there's one title that tops our list of the games we look forward to. And that's Deus Ex Mankind Divided. 2011's Human Revolution brought the series back in style, and the next Deus Ex seems to be more of the same, which is more than enough for us. With an amazing soundtrack, a good blend of various gameplay types, and a chance to skip nearly every fight in the game, this franchise reminds us what the term RPG stands for. We loved the previous Deus Ex, and it's nearly impossible for Mankind Divided to disappoint us in any way. Adam Jensen may not have asked for this, but we certainly did. So, that's it folks. Those were the top 10 RPG games we are excited for the most in the upcoming year. If by chance we left out your favorite, please let us know in the comments below and follow us on our social media sites. Most of all, however, stay tuned at GamePressure.com for videos and tutorials. Until then, see you around.